Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Kairos. Today I want to bring you some Fury Warrior stuff for 10-2 on the PTR. Now, there are some positives, there are some negatives to Fury Warrior. Going into um, 10-2, the major one is they have nerfed Reckless Abandon. That makes about probably a good half of our builds unviable now, because basically instead of having an actual rotation with like the Bloodthirst Annihilator build, is basically what happens with that is it it's a multiple nerfs on your talent tree basically. So instead of being able to spam Bloodthirst in order to keep, Cold Steel Hot Blood up, Blood Craze is also nerfed. With that being said, Reckless Abandon. Now that's the full bleed build. That's just running Bloodbath. That's not running, the typical, you know, use it on cooldown when you can to keep up Cold Blood Hot Steel or Cold Steel Hot Blood. Now I kind of have another build that might actually see some play. It's actually doing a lot of damage, even single target with Ravager. It's not so much that Ravager itself is doing a ton of damage single target. It's the effects that it does, and also it is still pumping. Obviously, otherwise I wouldn't even try to recommend this, because there are stronger talents than Ravager in the tree, but it's the effects that it has. Now, with that being said, I'm going to break it down. If Reckless Abandon, which is nerfed, what else does synergize? What else have they brought as far as new PvP talents into 10-2? But what else synergizes with what? Storm and Destruction was purely an arms talent. Reduces the cooldown of Ravager by 33%, so now it's a minute cooldown, and Ravager now also snares targets you hit by 70% for 6 seconds. So even that last tick of Ravager, they're still slowed by 70% for 6 seconds. So basically, even in PvP, you're, to be honest, even as the game goes on, not Crushing Blow, but Raging Blow is still hitting very, very hard. And running full into the talents, Critical Strike chance increased by 2%, and Raging Blow and Annihilator's damage Critical Strike Steal 10% increased damage. I know that's not great. Critical Strike is not that great because it's nerfed in PvP. But I digress. So we'll reset this data. We'll look at this target dummy. Now here's the thing with this build. Whirlwind's doing it. Basically everything you press has at advantage. Now I don't have all the correct gear, right stats, and all the crafted bullcrap, but basically your rotation, your opening burst is going to look like this. You get a Whirlwind, okay? You got the 4 stacks, Ravager, Burst. Well, you should Onslaught first so you get that rage advantage. But this is basically your entire fucking burst, is this. This is all you're doing as Fury in this patch. You're just doing as much cleave as you possibly can, and you're doing as much as you can to get Ravager back. Now, if you do this into a cleave team, melee, warrior, caster, this is still a really phenomenal way to butcher that team. Now, because the thing is Ravager's just got off cooldown. I have Recklessness in like 10 seconds. Oh, try 5. After this Rampage, I have it back. So, we'll generate more. We're about to have Ravager back. We're still just spamming as much damage as possible, getting our rage. Just doing massive damage as we can. Ravager. This is all we're doing, guys. This is our entire rotation. Ravager and everything else is going to synergize up. We should have all the rest of the cooldowns up here in a second. Avatar and all that. So we'll just go ahead and keep doing damn. Now, I'm holding 200k DPS. I know it's on 5 targets or whatever it is. But I just want you guys to understand. So we'll pop Ravager, we'll pop this, we'll burst. Use Odin's Fury again. We get the 5 stacks of Odin's Fury Bloodthirst from the 2 set. We're still just doing a ton of damage. Now, if we look at the numbers in a game, Rampage is your top damage, Odin's Fury is your second, Ravager is your third. Bloodthirst is still hitting, or not Bloodthirst, but Raging Blow is hitting very hard. And any Bloodthirst crits you can fit into your rotation. Obviously, the rotation to me still feels really weird. But this is looking good. Because even, let's say, even if I don't have the full burst, even single target, it still feels relatively good. And it's just the effects of everything else with, not Reckless Abandon, Storm of Destruction and Ravager. And you can also go into Hurricane to buff that damage a little bit, which still can be insanely good. Anyway, okay, so let's get started. Let's do a little burst here. We'll have an Odin's Fury to follow up. The Bloodthirst. The Bloodthirst. We're still doing a ton of damage, guys. That window for Ravager did 230k. And if it's any correlation, basically it's free damage, guys. That's what makes it so good. Because if you stack 2 people on it and you're using your whirlwinds, you're just buffing your damage even more. I know, even though your damage is, what is it, 55% of all your damage, single target. Yeah, it's 55. If from your main target that you're hitting, and that's 4 extra targets, and that's 4, single target abilities now turned AoE. Anyway, I know for some teams this is going to be horrible to go into, but Fury, honestly, even with the Reckless Abandon nerfs, but with Ravager actually being good now, it's subjective, mind you. I just wanted to make it known. Now on the tooltip it says 140k. I don't have all the right stats, so it's not doing the best damage. But basically right now in PvP it's saying, oh, actually, hold on. 380k, guys. 380k. So that's not counting avatar damage or anything else like that. Which is pretty phenomenal, to be honest, guys. It's a lot of damn. But anyway, you guys have a good one. I just wanted to bring this up, and Reckless Abandon is nerfed in PvP. Well, not in PvP, it's just nerfed. I mean, it makes the whole Annihilator 2-hander build very, very horrible. Reckless Abandon is still a very good talent, but with how nerfed, I mean, that's a 50% nerf, and it makes it basically nerfs our healing, and nerfs a lot of things to Fury Warrior, because it makes our healing even more so now that our healing is not as good anymore. Is basically you could Rampage, 2 Bloodthirst, 60% heal right there, into a impending victory. There's another 30% of your health back. So Fury's have been squished here going into this patch, but with the added PvP talents, you're actually doing way more damage. And the fact that we have to kind of mess around with different talents is kind of fun. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to bring this to your attention for all cleaves. Cleaving is believing, so you guys have a good one. It's not a guide. I just wanted to show this off. Where Fury is doing insane damage. I could actually see this doing 500k DPS in 3s. With a hunter, pet running around or something. It could actually get out of control with the right stats and gear and yada yada, and the right procs from your weapons off your enchants. And depending on what healer you're playing with, that can buff your damage. If you're playing with augmentation, it could actually be really gross. But you guys have a good one. Alright, bye bye.